Hey Gemini, this is your read, so let's go ahead and get started. See what the universe has for you guys today. Alrighty, so universe, what messages do you have for Gemini? Do you got some guidance, some advice, maybe some warnings, some affirmations? What do you have to say to Gemini today? And I feel like we got a few that are wanting to jump out there. So let's go ahead and get started and we'll see what she has for you guys. So we have shadow, balance, spiritual union, universe, and patience and planning. So I feel like patience and planning is tying into building for the future. I feel like the balance card is speaking to that as well. And having an even balance in your life, so that there's not too much stress and that you're able to sort of fulfill your happiness, so those inner needs. I have emotional withdrawal, intuition, harmony, emotional loss, and foundation and achievements. So I definitely feel like things are out of balance. It's what the emotional withdrawal, the emotional loss is speaking to. I don't know if it speaks to this relationship because I got the harmony card on top of the spiritual union. But there's something going on here. I'm going to pull more cards. I want to see where this is going here. I have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is sometimes called the Miser card. I feel like we're talking about somebody holding back. And I have the King of Swords here, and the King of Swords tends to do that. He tends to be somebody who doesn't share his feelings very openly. So a lot of times you won't, hold someone's hand in public or hug or kiss in public. It doesn't mean they don't love the person that they're with. That's just kind of who they are. They can come off as being cold and uncaring, which is not always the case. They just have trouble showing their emotions. I have the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles, to me, I feel like this is you. I feel like you're more of a giver. You're more outgoing. You're more open in showing love and affection. So I feel like when this person does not, that's where that emotional loss comes from. It hurts. Makes you feel like you're not being loved. And I feel like the emotional withdrawal is speaking to this King of Swords. But I feel like it's also a little bit speaking to you and a warning for you to not completely withdraw as well. I have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords can represent having a hard time finding clarity in a situation. I feel like that's what's going on here. You don't know why this person is holding back. I have the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups can represent having many options, weighing your options carefully, choosing wisely. And I feel like it's speaking to this situation with this King of Swords. I have the Queen of Swords here now, and the Queen of Swords to me is representing clarity and truth and light. I feel like you're gonna have to pry the truth out of this person, and not the truth like they're a terrible person and they're hiding something. Is just their inner feelings and their inner thoughts that they don't like sharing that trying to get them to share that is like pulling teeth, is what I feel from this read. I have the Death card. To me, the Death card is representing a change. I'm not talking about... I'm not saying that this relationship needs to end and that needs to be the change. I feel like the way everyone's interacting in this relationship needs to change because it's out of balance. People aren't getting what they need. So that needs to change for this relationship to have success. I have the Judgment card here. For me, she's like the Karma card. She represents getting back what you put in. I feel like she's a warning to you if you go that emotional withdrawal route and sort of just detach yourself because it hurts. I feel like she's saying then you're not going to get that connection. You're just going to get the same type of energy back. I feel like she's encouragement for you to push this person to get to the bottom of what their inner truths, their inner feelings are. I feel like she's pushing you to be that Queen of Swords. I have the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles represents an abundant harvest. So not just the abundance of the harvest, but the work that was put in so that you could have that abundant harvest. I feel like that's also speaking to that Karma card as well, and getting back what you put in. I have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles can represent a good news coming your way. And it's usually of a financial or academic nature, but I don't feel like we're speaking about either of those things here. I feel like this is speaking of a more personal, sort of spiritual and romantic level here. Okay, I have the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands can represent conflict, but not just conflict. It also speaks of dealing with conflict and using diplomacy. I feel like it's speaking to opening up a dialogue with this person. It's speaking to that Queen of Swords, to be able to get to the bottom of things, to stop the conflict that's happening now. Because it might not be openly. The conflict might not be out in the open. I think it's quieter than that. And because nobody's talking, things are festering. I have the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords can represent feeling trapped in negative thoughts and emotions and having trouble finding clarity. And I feel like that's where you're at as well. I have the Fool card, and the Fool card can represent looking at things in a new light. And I feel like that's what you're going to have to do in this conversation with this person, in working through these issues. But also I feel like if healing can be achieved in that, I feel like it's going to be a completely new outlook on your relationship as well, because I have the Lovers card, and to me, I see a renewed passion in this card and a deeper connection. And I feel like that's what you can achieve by getting this person to really open up. I have the Page of Wands, and the Page of Wands also represents good news, but the Wands can represent communication. So I feel like it's good news and good things manifesting from communication with this person. I feel like part of that is going to be you opening up about your emotions and your feelings as well. And I feel like that's what the Knight of Cups is speaking to. Sort of laying your emotions bare on the table for this person to see. I have the Hierophant, which represents a higher learning. I don't feel like it speaks to you. I feel like it speaks to this King of Swords, your partner. I feel like they don't actually get how their behavior affects somebody else. It's just sort of who they are and how they go through life and how they handle things. But to them, I don't think they can step back and see it objectively. which is why I also think it's so important that you tell them how you're feeling and how this behavior makes you feel. I have the Hermit card, which represents introspection. I feel like it also speaks to the clarity this person is going to find when you open up to them. And I think it speaks of the clarity that both of you will find in your relationship when you're able to speak about this. And then I have the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Cups represents abundance in the home life. And I have the Three of Cups, which represents happiness and celebration. I think these are the things that are going to come from being able to work through these issues with this person. Yeah, I think right now you're not saying anything because you're afraid that if you do, it's going to push this person away far enough to the point that it might end the relationship. I feel like that's what the cards are saying here, because I have the Nine of Swords, which is a lot like the Eight of Swords, feeling trapped in negative thoughts and emotions and fear and anxiety and depression. Now I have the Three of Swords, and the Three of Swords is sometimes called the Heartbreak card, and it can represent separation. I have the Tower card, and the Tower card represents something coming to a disappointing ending. So I feel like you're afraid of rocking the boat right now because you're afraid of pushing this person away. And you're afraid it might bring the relationship to an end. But I have the Chariot card on top of that Ten of Cups and Three of Cups, which is abundance in the home life and happiness and celebration. And the Chariot card represents positive forward momentum and perseverance. To me, that's Tarot's way of telling you to move forward with opening up to this person, and don't let your fears hold you back. I have the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands represents choosing a path. I have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands represents communication. The Ace of Cups I have as well. It represents new beginnings, and Cups represents emotions. So I feel like by choosing to open up, by choosing a path of communication with this person, I feel like it's going to be a new emotional beginning for both of you. And then I see the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands represents positive forward progress while keeping your eye on your goal. I believe that the goal in this case is your harmony, the spiritual union, this happy relationship that you have. No, it's not always that happy, but I feel like it can be. I feel like these are issues that can be worked out. They don't have to end in the Tower. They can be solved with communication, and it can bring you guys closer. And you can have that harmony. So I have conflict and defeat here. And again, I feel like that's speaking to how you feel right now. And sort of that temptation to just sort of emotionally withdraw. I have financial and material changes, but I don't think it speaks of finances. I think it speaks of changes and making changes in your life and changing changes in this relationship and the way that you guys communicate with each other. And I have the Destiny card. To me, she represents taking the destiny of this relationship back into your own hands and not just allowing it to play out however, but actually stepping up and taking control and having a hand in the destiny of it. All right, guys, that's what these cards said to me. I hope you enjoyed the read. Please feel free to comment because I love hearing from you guys. Take care.